Hi, this is Derek Tsai from learnmyblogging.com. Today is April 27th, 2014. I want to give you a little bit tour of the garden. The garden season has started, and I want to show you what I have done so far. These are the tomato that I have planted from seeds. They are grown pretty big already. I use these self-watering pots. Seems to be working pretty well. They soak up the water pretty well throughout the day, and the plant uses whatever it needs for the day. And I only need to water it like every 2-3 days to replenish the reservoir. This is the one I bought from Home Depot. Seems to have more water, contain more water than the one I bought from Walmart here. I have this is cherry purple, and I have some standard. I bought from Home Depot, and lots of tomato plants. This one here is corn. Over here on the backyard, the middle of the yard. If you look at our entire backyard here, I have the orange tree. This is grapefruit, and this one here is lemon, and I have apple here, Fuji apple, and some of the hydroponic system that I planted. I'll show you a little bit closer later. These hydroponic system that I planted. This is a Chinese Naba bok choy, little bok choy. They taste much better than regular bok choy. And I have planted in the net pots, and they are planted in the 5-gallon buckets using the cracking method. If you look at, and this is the other one that I planted 8 of them in this 10-gallon tote. Now if I zoom in, I bring out the net cup. You can see the root are coming out, and eventually the root will come down and seek the water all the way down, and form a nice root like this one over here. This will eventually become, and as the water receded, the root will chase after the water and has inhaled the oxygen, the air, as well as the nutrient. Very simple to use. Works very well. Okay. This is another 5-gallon bucket planted, and this is one that I already harvested, and it will continue to grow after I harvest it. Maybe a couple more times it will continue to grow. So this is the one that once I add more nutrient, it will grow bigger. So you can harvest like 2 or 3 times before it eventually bolted and flower. This is the one that I grow. There's a corn, and this is I believe it's spinach, using the hydroponic systems. Same thing here. I have a net cup, and the root come out through here. Okay, very nice, very deep root. And this is kale that I've done with the hydroponic as well. See the root, how nice the roots are. I usually don't need to replenish the water or nutrients until I harvest the first time. This is the one I harvested before, and it sprouted more vegetable, more leaves. This one is a Montero tomato, and I use the self-watering pot. Works very well. This is my blackberry. It went through the deep freeze or frost last winter and has not really come back with a vengeance yet. These are more of the 5 hydroponic system that I planted. These are already harvested here. These harvested, and these are this one is flowering, bolted, and the rest are in still growing more leaves. And this is the second harvest of the little bak choy or 小白菜 in Chinese. And this is the tong hao, Chinese vegetable. Work very well with the hot pot and a 5-gallon bucket hydroponic system. And over here is my Fuji apple, finally flowering. You can see the little apple growing. In there somewhere. Okay, quite a few. And I'm hanging a lot of this bucket here to catch the cuttlefish moth. Hopefully I won't eat any more worms in the apple. Since something I learned from YouTube, that you can catch the moth through this vinegar and the apple vinegar solution and water, plus molasses. And I've been buried the bokashi compost on the side over here, as well on the other side, to provide the nutrient. These are the lime or lemon tree. Been lots of flower, so we're gonna get a lot of lemon, a lot of limes. I pruned it very nicely last year at the end of season. Now they came back with a vengeance. Our neighbor's orange tree. They don't eat orange as much as they should, so I might take care of that for them. This one here is I see a hummingbird here. American holly. I have pruned back this used to be huge bushes of American holly, and I had to trim it quite a bit because it's taking a lot of the nutrients from this grapefruit tree. I'm trying to get this grapefruit tree to grow bigger, get sweeter. Last year we got a lot of grapefruit, but I never got sweet enough to be edible. Because I think the sun was there was not enough sun there. And I just finished harvesting all the oranges from this tree. As you can tell, it just started to flower, and it finished flowering. There's some oranges already growing here, little oranges. That's starting to come up the second crop of the season. Strange crop seasons in California here. I don't know what these plants these trees are, but it's a lot like bottle brushes, red bottle brushes flower for the bees. They do take away a lot of the sun from the tree, so I might have to prune it back a little bit. This is my wife's rose bed. I have planted a lot of the bokashi system here. I planted all the bokashi in between the plant, bokashi compost. And this is lavender, more roses, and this is jalapeno pepper. And I have my drip irrigation system timer here that watered all the left side of the side yard. More roses. And over here I have grapes. The grapes are growing by leaps and bounds all over the place. These are wine. I believe it's Cabernet grapes. On the other side here, more grapes. They're growing very prolific growth. And you can see the little grapes that are coming up here. Okay, it's good. Very, you can tell it's a nice hangout place for the pigeons. They like to hang around here and pick on the nice fruit at the end of the grape season. These are my little makeshift raised bed. Has kale and has some this is Chinese cabbage, and this is the tong hao that bolted with nice beautiful flowers. I have a drip irrigation system turned on here. This is my side yard here. I have a lot of tomatoes and herbs. I don't remember. This is the a lot of the mint and more different kinds of tomato here. They all are flowering nicely, and this is this side of the yard only face the west side, so it gets very harsh afternoon sun, but gets a lot of sun. And this is my passion fruit that I just moved. It didn't do so well last year. It flowered last year, but I didn't get any fruit. Hopefully with this cage I'm able to get some fruit this year. My wife liked the passion fruit, so hopefully we'll get some fruit. And over here I have two cherry trees. Let me step back a little bit. These are two cherry trees. Pretty old cherry tree here. It has borne some fruit. Let me see if I can find some to show. This is one of the. We didn't get any fruit. We get some fruit, but end up eaten by all the birds. So not much to show for here. I think there's some fruit here. I cannot tell. Yeah, that's a fruit. So cherry tree. There's one over here, and there's one in here as well. It's a very tall one here. Hopefully we'll get some fruit this year. You can see there's some fruit that's coming up. Okay. And more, the one I just introduced, more fruit, more apple. I'm sorry, this is tomato. Over here I have a special system I set up. This is I borrowed from excuse me, Larry Hall in Brennan, Minnesota. Show us how to do this air pruning, and I put it into this 3.5 gallon bucket, drill some holes, use the Walmart shopping bag to air prune. So this is air pruning system. I have a lot of holes, 2.5-inch holes drilled across and exposed to air, and I have some drainage holes right here. This is where the drainage is, about 1.5 inch above the bucket, so it will have retain some water there to act as a self-watering systems. So hopefully it will come out good this time. Okay, these are all my tomato plants that I planted from seeds, almost 90% of them. Over here there's some jalapeno plants that I left over from last year. They grew back after the frost, so I'm gonna go ahead and replant them. This is the Chinese cabbage. Grow really big, but I think I planted them too close, so they're crowding each other right now. There are 4 of them in this little tiny space, so but they are humongous leaves. And these are the blackberry. Blackberry didn't bear any fruit last year, but this year it came back with a vengeance. I can see all the fruit. A lot of fruit this year, and it grew very fast. Cut across over here, and I have some old tomato plants. This is Roma, and this is the bean cherry that looks like it didn't survive this year. And I have 3 zucchini plants that I planted from seeds. This year I decided to not use my raised bed for my zucchini or any plants. Decided to use pot instead, because I think the raised bed is too shallow, not deep enough. I probably need to have double decker to plant a reasonably good crop. So I'm using it as a platform right now, and I take advantage of the drip irrigation system here. Okay, it's a drip irrigation. And I have some garlic planted here, a little bit strange. A bunch of garlic that sprouted from a refrigerator, so I just go ahead and plant them. And there's some onion there, and here's the 3 zucchinis, and I have some pepper. So this is a Chinese eggplant that I planted from seeds, and this is the Lombardo pepper. I believe that's how it's pronounced. And this is Lombardo pepper, yes. And this is one here is Hangzhou pepper. Hangzhou pepper is supposed to be on the scale of 1 to 10 is 1 to 9, I believe is 8, so very spicy. And this one here is a sweet Nardello pepper. It's supposed to be not spicy. And according to what I heard, is pretty good, very prolific plant. So I want to give it a try. Some herbs, and this is more of a Montero tomatoes, and Montero, and this one here I believe is the brandy wine. The brandy wine has a very wide, very big leaves, and starting to grow flower. And this is another bucket, another Walmart bucket that I use for has a cell watering system as well built in. This is where I planted the seedling on the side of the house. This is for the bok choy. So I plant it like that. Make sure you don't get too much sun, just a regular shade. This is where I planted the seedling in the garage. This is my little green room. Have more bok choy that's in the pipeline. It's going to come out. And I planted more seedling here. So that's the end of the tour. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Thank you.